I'm Instagramming.
That's recording.
Give it another one there, buddy.
And drop. I don't have headphones, but I'm looking at the thing. Progress over everything. And it's done.
I mean, you're all set up on that board. It seems far away for how short your arms are.
It's because I figure that way I don't mess with it too much. Because I can get pretty distracted with that thing.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen it yet. Like when we first opened it, yeah, we were in here for a while testing, as they say. Like the robot voices.
Wait, so when I'm not here, how much
testing
time do you guys mess around with stuff like that?
The new petition that we have going around the office that you haven't been hit with yet.
I don't like petitions. I feel like everyone who signed a petition is going to get fired.
I heard there was going to be a PowerPoint presentation for this.
Okay.
Is selling some of this furniture, mostly the 2 gray chairs, and to replace with love sacks. So that just no one gets anything done. No,
we're not doing that. I
I
bought you guys a massage chair.
Creative team is lobbying hard for
I got
just
you
bean
guys
bags.
a massage chair. And then, there's a bunch of couches. And now you guys want bean bags to lay in? I've never sat in a massage chair. You've never even sat in the massage chair, but you want to skip straight to $1,000 love sacks.
We could get like the Costco versions.
We're not going to get the Costco
Josh
version.
said if we get love sex that he would buy a laptop so that he can then work from the,
we're
obviously made me say like, no, this isn't a good idea.
Yeah. I was thinking about setting rules for some things and saying like, if you use the gym, you're allowed to use this.
Oh, I like that.
Because I've been trying to think. It drives me fucking crazy. Hold on, I've been thinking. I've been listening to myself on the internet recently and thinking sometimes, Rob, you should calm down and not actually say what you're about to say.
I had like a good sound here.
Yeah, what's the sound for? Let's calm down, Rob, for a second. There's no clue what it is.
It's a trombone.
No, but I was trying to think because like some people here train. Like we have the most amazing gym in the world. It's all the dopest equipment. The environment's sick. It's right here, and there's people that in this building that don't lift weights.
Yep.
And it makes me feel strange. And I want to pick those people up and shake them like babies. But you can't do that, right, Gage? No, you can't do
Shaking babies is frowned upon.
Well, in most
cultures.
It's a expression. I should probably not say that either. So I want to pick them up and shake them. And I was trying to think, and like the people that do go down there and lift, like I'm so proud of them. And I don't know how to like say like
massage chair access is kind of nice.
Yeah, and I think that one, I was like, well, maybe I start paying people, like, because insurance companies do that, right? They're like, hey, if you go to the gym every week, you get $25. It's not even like real money, really. You get like reimbursed like $49 for your gym membership.
Yeah,
yeah. But what I was thinking about maybe doing something where it's like, maybe like limited access. Like if you use the gym like 3 days a week, you are then have access to like, I don't know if the massage chair is the thing, but
yeah, I don't know. That's a good idea though. And it also lines up with the challenge.
Yeah. Oh, the challenge. I've put on weight.
Intentionally?
No, I think just because so context real quick. Dana and I are starting a challenge. I want to get in shape for summer and see how lean I can get. So I'm passing my everything over to her saying, you train me, you do my diet, you do everything, just get me in shape. And my first step has been training with her for 2 weeks. The challenge starts March 3rd. So for this 3 weeks, I'm sort of getting my feet under me. Like I'm like, okay, I'm training with Dana. I'm seeing how I recover. I'm not changing eating, and I've put on like 5 pounds.
Muscle?
I assume so.
What a combination of everything,
I'm just
right?
putting on weight. And then even last night in the mirror, she was like, you're getting like jacked. And I was like, it's not the purpose here. Like I have a decent amount of muscle. I need to lose the stuff covering the muscle up. And she's like, we'll do that later. Let's just keep getting you jacked. And I was like, I'm going to start this challenge at 250 and end it at 260 and just because she wants me bigger.
Like a recomp.
She wants me bigger. I want to see if I can hit 239.
What did you, that time we went ziplining, you had to hit a weight limit. What
I hit
was
250.
It was just 250?
And I faked it.
I couldn't remember.
Shout out to the ziplining company. So
West Virginia.
What a lot of people don't realize is there's weight limits to almost everything. Mm-hmm. So like the giant fat people on airplanes, I relate to you guys, You're like, I can't fit in an airplane seat. I'm like, I get it. I can't go zip lining. I can't like even skydiving. I never missed because skydiving, the cutoff is 250. And like, I don't want to jump out of a plane at the cutoff.
Yeah, you don't be at the max limit.
But zip lining, So when we went zip lining, I had to get under 250. And I remember I stood on the scale and I grabbed the table and I pushed down. And you saw me step on it. It was like 255. And it was like 243. And they're like, send it.
That was when like the Save Rob Bailey started.
Yeah. Well, that was because I was 300.
You were big.
I was 312. And we were in Australia. And like, I was just like, and Dana was like, I think maybe you should start trying to get smaller. And then
we went hard on the Save Rob Bailey campaign.
Yeah, the Save Rob Bailey campaign was a good one.
We saved you. Here you are.
Look at me. I made it.
60 pounds less.
I made it. So yeah, the challenge is doing good, man.
We already have a front runner for who's going to win the internal challenge.
Really?
Gage said he's been slacking intentionally. Told me this morning. Slacking intentionally so that March 3rd he could turn on the turbo. Crank it up.
Wait, does that microphone work?
I unplugged it.
Can we plug it in real quick?
Are you going to make him commit to?
No, I think because when you listen to it and he talks, he's not there. But like, there's a standing microphone there for Gage.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Gage.
I'm engineering live.
No, you're not. You can't even get the buttons to turn on.
Oh, is it this one? No. Yeah, talking to it.
Talking to a Gage.
Sorry for everyone watching at home. No.
All right, whatever, Gage. Maybe you got.
I'll talk for you. Gage is going to win.
I thought you guys tested this for a day.
It should have been easy as this.
Yeah, I don't know why that isn't.
You're really
working.
mashing that button.
I know it is, but
All right.
We'll do it later. You had your moment to shine. You kicked off the podcast already. But he said he was going to win.
So I think, I mean, the easiest one to win is Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan, I don't know what he is right now, 400 pounds? Not trying to be a dick. I've always been very surprised. Jordan, how much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
340?
Oh, he's only 340. Okay.
He's got the biggest room to.
Yeah, 340. So he could lose 40 pounds in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Like realistically,
And then he gets to use the massage chair.
Well, then he'll fit in the massage chair. He's too big. He doesn't fit in the Raptor. He doesn't fit in anything.
We did learn that yesterday.
So yeah, we need to dial that too. Can we set up a since you see my schedule better than me? Can we set up a meeting next week
to announce it to the staff?
Yeah, to announce it, set rules, all sorts of stuff like that.
A good town hall meeting.
Can we also get a big scale? And I'm going to put the whole staff
like
on
the office,
exactly.
like the loading dock.
Exactly.
Fuck. Oh man.
What else is going on? We got an axe on the table, which is interesting.
Yeah. It is neat. I learned a lot about axes yesterday, and I think I'm not going to say I'm an axe guy.
You're not an axe guy,
but
you don't even own an axe. You can't be an axe guy and not own an axe.
That's mine.
That's definitely not yours. So the weird thing is, I think this is like mine, but it was given to Jordan and he's the protector of it. So a little backstory about this axe. We sold some hatchets a while ago for Black Friday, and I don't even know how many we did, 25.
Yeah.
And we were like worried about selling them and they all sold out within a second. But there is a local guy who makes, essentially he shapes the handles, restores axe heads.
Yeah.
And in the past, like whenever I've bought a custom axe, it's always been from like a Best Made or something. So it's, I don't want to say inexpensive, but it's been like $150. And then for my truck, I always buy like, not Harbor Freight axes, but essentially, so they're like $40. I use them as a hammer.
Yeah.
I don't hesitate to give them to someone. But these are a little bit more expensive because what he does is he gets these heads from, like the 1940s.
I think that one was from the 50s, he said yesterday.
50s? Yeah. I think it was from the 50s. So this is a heist, something. I can't read the second part, but there's so much to do with the axe heads and like where they were made and all that shit.
I want to say that one was like imported from Australia or something.
Oh, no. That's the type of handle that he did.
Gotcha.
It was an Australian.
Maybe I'm not an axe guy.
But anyway, so yesterday we went and we shot our little mini doc on him. And the weird thing is, man, it's like the thing I like about these mini docs is I know what he does.
Yeah.
Like I know he makes axe handles and makes these custom axes, and it's really, really rad. But like, you don't really know, you know. And yesterday was our opportunity to dig in deeper because with the concept of the mini doc series, I just want to talk to people that have cool lives.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't need to drive a Bugatti. Like I don't care what you do. I want you to be living the life that you want.
Yeah.
And looking at Hunter, right? Like Hunter practically drives a Bugatti of overlanding.
Yeah.
But he has the exact life that he wants and he's figuring it out, right? And I think that's what I've always thought the brand was. The brand is like, take control of your life, figure it out, no surrender, no failure, and like, let's make the most out of this short time that we have here. And whether that's fitness or bodybuilding or whatever it is, it's like, no, let's take this really serious and try to figure out how to make the life you want. Realize that self-accountability and it's yours. And a lot of these little business owners or YouTubers or creators or whoever it is or musicians that we're gonna cover, it's people that are figuring it out. And everyone has common themes that roll through them. Yeah, and you'll see in the mini doc, but he kept saying he was lucky.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I did this and that didn't work. So then I tried this and that didn't work. So then I tried this and I guess I got lucky. And I was like, when you try like 3 or 4 different things and they don't work, and then you find something that works and then you spend years getting better at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's luck anymore.
No, it's showing up.
Yeah, it's showing up. And that was the cool thing about his story, right? The other interesting thing that my big takeaway that I thought about all last night, and I'm sure you did too, was he does this just enough to live the lifestyle that he wants.
Yep.
Which I have a very hard time doing because the second I get involved with any project, I'm like, no, we need to maximize this. And I end up maximizing everything, which you obviously can't do.
Yeah.
Right. But no, that was a really, really cool doc. And now we have this axe and you don't have one. What I think you should do
is what you did yesterday.
Is what I did yesterday, which is I was actually on.
What was that called?
I don't remember. Seating the axe head.
Yeah.
What I think, like what I want to do now is I want to buy one of his kits that have like the full handle. You can stain it yourself. You can do all that, but track down axe heads. I was actually on Craigslist last night because I can't get into my Facebook page. So Marketplace is like.
Oh, so you're back on Craigslist.
Yeah, which is weird. Nobody's on Craigslist.
Yeah, I think Marketplace, at least to my understanding, Marketplace is kind of.
Yeah, Craigslist is dead, I think. I mean, I was on it and it was like, it was like, oh, there's nothing here anymore. There's like car dealerships trying to sell stuff there.
Classic.
But I want to start looking for like a good old axe head. I want one of those damn ravens, one of the black ravens he was talking about, just for street cred.
The Princess Diana.
Yeah. And then seed my own.
That's cool.
That's what I want to do. I think that's what you should do.
You know what, what I like about what we did yesterday is obviously we talked about this with the Hunter one. Everyone has different takeaways or different like words that they might latch onto or things that he said. Yeah. You know, what that made me want to do.
No,
I've had this plan for a while, and I started to kind of get it set up at my Jersey house, but I'm going to do it here, is restoring old golf clubs.
Really?
Regripping and then buying old stuff off eBay, like Nike stuff that they don't make anymore, and trying to see if I could be like, all right, cool, I'm going to restore this 2-iron from.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that because I'm not good at golf. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
No one's good at golf.
Okay. Oh, there's some people that are good at golf. But that's the thing is like when we started golfing, and I think this is, I don't know if it's just me or I'm getting old or whatever, but when I entered the golf scene, I was like, I don't know what clubs to get. So we got me fitted and I got the M3s?
TaylorMade M5s or it was either M4 or M3 at the time.
I think it was M3s. And I got these M3s and you were like, dude, this is like a really good set of clubs. And now it's been 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And like, they're not the clubs anymore.
Yeah.
They're like the clubs of 5 years ago. And that's sort of how it is with everything, right? Like you get an iPhone and like, it's like, oh, this iPhone's great. And then 2 years later, it's like garbage, get the new one. And that it's like sucks, right? Like I love capitalism, obviously. Capitalism's great. I think it gives us the opportunity, but I think a lot of times the opportunity just focuses on the newer.
Yeah.
And even with Drew buying the older, the 22-year-old Tacoma, and me just being so jealous. Like I drive a brand new Raptor, but I'm still jealous of that old Tacoma.
Yeah.
Stuff like this is so rad. And I've thought that with golf clubs. I've thought like, I don't want to just go buy the next newest best set and then just be cool for 2 years and be like, oh, look at my clubs. They're dope. Even though I'm not good. I'd almost rather go the other way.
Yeah.
Which is like, if I could find clubs from the 50s and just be like, yo, yeah, these are from 1955.
Some
and the wooden boat did
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Like the wooden boat is a 1956 Chris Craft. And it's like, I have so much more.
Is that what year that is?
Yeah, it's a 1956. And I have so much more pride in like my 1956 Chris Craft than I do in my 2023 Mastercraft.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's dope. It has all the features, but there's just something about like, oh no, this boat has been around for 70 years and it's still out here just getting it, you know?
And you're going to win boat shows with that this year.
I have a lot of work to do before I'm going to enter 2 boat shows this year.
Realistically, because I obviously
don't know how to win. Okay.
That's what I was going to ask. Like,
So
I don't know.
I've been to like 3 boat shows. The first 2, I didn't talk to anybody. The next one, I actually started conversations. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about buying a wooden boat. And the community's dope, dude. The community, like, they want to unload. Like, no one really asks them stuff like that. So I got unloaded a lot of information at the wooden boat show. But, like, I don't really know how you win. There's not much I can do with the wooden boat. So it has new glass on it. New glass in the front that's like a little newer. That's why it looks better. That time period glass, it's very flat, and they made it higher, so it's lower glass. I'm not going to reupholster it, but I can get like aesthetically, I can do a lot. So I can do the matching pillows, right? I can do. I want to get a life preserver made that says I'm going to name the boat Chips and Caviar. I'm going to get a life preserver made. Or a life raft that says Chips and Caviar. Figure out how to mount that. I want to do some custom things for a bottle of vodka and 2 glasses in the back seat, and then I can put graphics on the back. But outside of that, like, it's just a 15-foot Cavalier. Like, it's not the boat, right? So I don't think I can win. Now,
But you're going to go and try.
We're going to wear outfits. We're going to dress up. So we're gonna win. We're gonna win the outfits. We're gonna win best in shape because everyone else is 80 years old. So we're gonna be the most jacked with the best outfits. We're gonna go over the top with our charcuterie board.
Okay.
So I think that I want to get the lawn chairs because you set lawn chairs up next to your boat, and then you sit there and wait for people to come over, and then you tell them about your boat. So I'm going to try to get the lawn chairs to match the boat. So I'm going to do a bunch of things aesthetically.
No, win like on the experience side.
I'm going to win in my heart. Absolutely. Yeah. But we're going to do, this is but we're going to do one at the Whitefish Boat Show.
Yep.
There's a good weekend there with the Woody Show at the Whitefish Lodge. And then there's one in Coeur d'Alene. So it's a quick little 3-hour drive. So I'm going to really just, travel to other states for boat shows.
Oh, yeah.
Those are 2 things on my vision board this year.
Well, that's part of like talking to Paul yesterday. And one of the things that was inspiring or whatever you want to take out of it is how much he skis and all these different things like we were talking about earlier, just doing what he does to make sure he has the life he wants and not worried about scaling to a certain point or anything like that. And just understanding
he's scaling, but it's like a healthy scale.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he's not worried about getting employees.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing is like the first thing if I was him is I was like, ooh, I'd hire customer service.
Yeah.
Or I'd hire someone to, even if it was a couple hours a day to handle the conversations so I can just focus on making axes. And then I would do my own media, obviously, but that's the next thing. I'd be like, cool, what can I make that is scalable that I don't have to touch.
Right. And not to give away his story, but that's the direction he's going. So like when you have a business, there's multiple ways to scale or multiple definitions of what scaling is. And I think a lot of people, we would hear it all the time with CCV is, I just want a big team.
Yeah.
And that was like part of the conversation we were having yesterday while we were like wrapping up the shoot and all. It wasn't around necessarily like media, but one of the things he talked about, like what we were doing is, wow, it's cool. You guys can capture media and figure out all these different distribution places to put it, as opposed to I'm stuck I just need more media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So scaling properly in a way where it can, organically kind of contribute to, instead of just, I'm going to hire all these people and move to a big shop. That doesn't really always translate to anything.
No. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely like a cool take on it. I liked his take on everything.
I think my biggest
cool
takeaway from
project.
yesterday was showing up and just
Yeah.
like being consistent with projects. I mean, that's very much early days of Flag. That's what it was for you and Dana. Didn't care how big the show was, didn't care how far the drive
Showing up.
was. Let's just be there.
Yeah.
And like, what were some of those moments for you that maybe kind of changed, or that you realize had a big impact now looking back?
I did everything for free back in the day.
Yeah.
So like, I remember I got a call from Mike Puccinella, which
From Muscle Meds?
I think he was independent at the time.
Okay.
And once again, this is dating me, because this is back in DVDs, and I think one of the biggest DVDs the series that made an impact was the Kai Green DVDs.
Yeah.
Because no one really used to document that last couple weeks leading up to their show. And Mike was like, hey, Kai, let's show everything. So I remember watching that and seeing Kai show up, I think 2 weeks early to Vegas, and then live in some shitty motel and do all those things. And they showed his house and they showed all this stuff.
Showed him going to the dollar store to get Tupperware.
All of that. And that's what really built up Kai. And I remember I got a call from Mike, and he was like, hey, I need a second shooter. And I just started doing video. And I was like, yeah, I'll be a second shooter. Absolutely. And I remember, because I was kind of interning with some design, and I had some friends that were, like iron workers and stuff like that. And everyone was like, wait, so you're driving 2 hours there, you're filming for 4 hours, and then you're driving 2 hours back, and you're not getting paid.
And knowing Kai, it's probably like he's training at midnight.
Yeah. And they're like, so wait, you're wasting 8 hours, all of your gas, and you're doing that. And I did it like 10 times.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, that's like well over a month of your like work time. Like, and you're just not getting paid. And I was like, well, yeah, like I'm going to learn stuff. I'm going to make connections. And I think especially in the creative world, a lot of people are like, well, what am I getting paid? Or things like that. And they forget to do creative projects that just like build them up. And I think the same thing with Dana. Dana, like I would drive her to every single show.
Yeah.
Every single show. And she wouldn't even have a booth to stand at. We would just go to every single show and just be there and be around.
And you're not talking like regionals and team. You're talking like even local
everything.
NPC,
if there was a show
whatever
in Jersey
show.
that was, if there was a show within 4 hours, it was like, we're driving to that show.
Yep.
And, dude, I mean, that's whether people understand what made Dana or not, that's like a spoke on the wheel that made her. Like, yes, it was the media, it was the being real, but I think one of the big things was showing up in real life. And I think a lot of people don't have the work ethic to show up, or they have this inflated value of their time that they're like, well, my time's worth this, and I need to get paid and get money, get that bag and all that. And I think a lot of people miss out on like really, really cool opportunities, even opportunities that spark stuff. So, I mean, going back way before that. And so I was a line cook. I was a sous chef for a little bit. And there was a guy that was a private chef for like a really big movie producer. And I remember he used to be like, hey, can you come help me? I'm like, yeah, I'd come help you. And I would go over and I'd like make salad dressing and like make this nice, like I'd go over and make salad dressing, prepare a salad, and then he would make the high-end stuff and we'd just cook lunch. And it would take up my whole day. And like what that did for me, did I get paid? I think every once in a while I got paid a little bit. But what that did for me was it opened up my eyes to like, whoa, this dude is a private chef that only cooks lunch for a famous guy.
Yeah.
And I remember
he was
making like 80 grand a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, like it broke up my understanding of how to do things. And even the Kai Green videos, it like made me look at how the rules of life operate different. And I think that's something I try to teach in my coaching program is like, you understand the way something's done, right? Like you understand retirement, you understand how to get a job, you understand that like the workday ends at 3 o'clock and all these different things. But if you start looking at the pieces different, all of a sudden everything changes. And I think Chelsea's a great example, right? Like Chelsea has a job scope, but anything I give to Chelsea, she's like, she's going to figure out to make my life easier.
Yeah.
Like today, it's getting back on my Facebook page. That is not her job,
Yeah.
but she's going to do that, right? And I think that if I said, hey, on Saturday, let's come in and figure that out, she would do that. And I think that her not looking at the traditional role of her job is going to provide her with so much more opportunity. Because now when I do these bigger projects or whatever, it's like, yeah, I need Chelsea involved.
Yep.
And with the Kai Green thing, it was like, oh, wait, people identify with real life. This is prior to social. He was like the original influencer.
Yeah.
Like showing my day to day, and it wasn't beautiful. It was like, I've watched the Cutler videos. I've watched the Marcus Rule videos. I've watched, and they're like, they're obviously aware that they're being filmed, and it's trying to make sure their kitchen looks as good as possible. Or even Marcus Rule going to the grocery store. Like you can tell he doesn't normally go to the grocery store,
Yeah.
but it was like this act of going to the grocery store and people staring at him. And it was like a spectacle. So it was like almost like a skit, right? Marcus, I don't know if you go to the grocery store. I'm sure you do, but that was a skit.
Yeah.
Like it was obviously a skit. The Kai Green thing was almost like, it was like, hey, I'm going to do my thing. Film me and put out whatever you want. So you got this really real look, and it made me look at media different, and it made me structure Dana's videos different. But all of that, whether it's the private chef, whether it's showing up, it was showing up to things.
Yeah.
And running myself ragged and just trying to absorb as much as possible because I didn't know. And I think the same thing with the Axe guy. Like he tried to make shorts beforehand.
Yep.
Like he just knew, okay, these jobs aren't working. So on the side, I want to start creating things. And then when he started making the Axe handles and things like that, it was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to show up at these different things and start talking to different people and try to figure it out. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just move on to something else.
Yeah.
And that's what I think breeds success, breeds knowledge, and it opens up your brain. Because our brains we watch how our parents live, we watch all that, and you're like, this is how it's done. And then you carry that with you. And I think a lot of times those are the limiting factors in life. And yeah, dude, I mean, showing up more than anything that's the secret.
Yeah.
Show up to things. And like, again, when we say show up, it's how we're going to show up to the boat show. Like we're showing up and we're all in.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm not going to be on my phone on Instagram at the boat show. Like, no, I'm going to be talking to other boat people. Like, like actually fucking show up to the thing and be there, fully buy in, whatever it is.
Be present.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that people pretend like they do that. And I even pretend like I do that. But every once in a while I'm in situations where I'm like, oh, I'm not really here.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about something else. But like if you have true self-awareness, you can learn so much from every situation.
Yeah. Everything and anything
Every
around
situation.
you. That's what Dana is a good example, like to tie it back to fitness too. It's like everyone thinks there's some secret to why she looks the way she does, or why she's always in shape, or why she's always shredded or
Well,
strong.
I think the
or
secret's drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is what I would think if I wasn't married to her.
But the secret really is she just hasn't stopped. Like she hasn't
At all.
competed.
She hasn't bolted.
What, 2015 was the last time she stepped on stage and what people would classify as like competed. Hasn't stopped training every day since then.
Hasn't taken any time off.
Yeah.
Hasn't gone off diet. Like her diet's loose, but her loose diet is other people's prep diets.
Literally.
And it's just, that's her habit. That's her standard of operation. And she just does it now. She'll look like that for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
You know, if not better. I think she looks better than she looked 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, or 10 years ago or whatever. But yeah, it's just keep showing up.
Even your vlogs right now. It's like setting the goal of, cool, I'm going to do this every day for 365 days. Going into it with the expectations of some are going to be bangers, some are going to be good, and some are going to be cool. I checked the box today. But every day I'm going to show up, and every day it's going to get better. At some point, my check the box is going to become what good was. My good is going to become my bangers, and then whatever other
and that's the thing is like it's if I would have vlogged someone day 50 right now, right? And now what I'm really falling into is like, okay, what does the consumer want? I'm talking weird, but like, what does the viewer want?
Yeah.
Right?
You have enough data to kind of look at.
And all of a sudden, like things are getting easier because I'm starting to realize like, okay, they like this. Let me put this segment in. This is how I still tell a story. This is what I can throw back to. And like the more I show up, because I've had a lot of people be like, dude, 365 days of vlogging in addition to my normal workload is crazy. Because every day I still have to sit down and be like, cool, it's not just a vlog. It's what's the concept for today. Like there needs to be an overall theme or a lesson. I want to add value. Like you don't just want to watch me work. I want to add value somehow or inspire. And every day that's almost getting easier because it's just the more I do it, the more things make sense. So I went from the first 2 weeks of being like, this is going to be impossible, right? To like, I'm on day 50 now. And it's like, oh, this is by the time I'm on day 300, this is going to be so easy because I just keep showing up and doing it. Things get easier with time. And am I making great YouTube money? No. Believe it or not.
Is your channel even monetized?
My channel's monetized, yeah. Monetization is something I'm paying attention to. So in the scheme of things, so for my if we broke things down to my hourly wage, it is not. So January I made $1,500, which is nice.
On YouTube? I
like that at least some money came in. But at the same point in time, if you look at how many hours I put in for $1,500, like it's not there. I think a lot of times people look right at the monetization. They look right at the number coming out. And I'm trying to look at like, cool, I'm crushing these skill sets. Like I'm like my storytelling is getting better. My relationship with the customer is getting better. Like there's all these factors that are getting better just by me showing up. Now, are my views crushing? No. Are my monetization numbers crushing? No. My subscriber count's like moving up a little bit, which is a good metric. But yeah, I don't know. Like all the traditional numbers why people get on YouTube aren't crushing, but my skill sets are getting so much better.
Yeah.
And they're going to translate to something else later. I don't know what it is, but I'm building these skills. And I think that that's what showing up does, is it builds these skills. Dana building the skill of showing up and being in shape, what's it translating to right now, today? Nothing. She's not competing. She's not getting ready. But it's like, it's tempering her and giving her this skill to show up elsewhere doing something else.
Yeah. The other thing with like YouTube too, and like for your channel specifically, just to touch on like the monetization thing, is you're fortunate enough where you're not worried about you have to make money off of YouTube to feed yourself every night. So you can let your channel and you're letting your content be very organic. You're not worried about every day, cool, I'm going to make this clickbait video because the video needs at least this many views for the channel to do $3,000 every month.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different trade-off, right?
Yeah.
Like I've made a bunch of really good decisions over the last however many years. I mean, good enough decisions where I don't take a salary from Flag Nor Fail right now.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things I met with the staff this year, and I was like, hey, I'm all in on Flag this year, and to prove it, I'm not taking a salary. Which I'm pretty proud of myself for that. Like that seems like a cool thing to like my main focus be like, I'm not taking any money from it. But no, I've made investments and things like that. And then also like, I don't know, it doesn't cost that much to be me.
Yeah.
You know, surprisingly enough, it doesn't. But yeah, I don't have to live and die by YouTube money. But I think a lot of people starting out YouTube, like that's not how it works. It's always a side hustle.
Right.
It's always a side hustle. And then eventually you look around, you're like, wait, this is a full-time hustle. How did this happen? And again, the side hustle is showing up for a really long time until it becomes your real hustle.
Yeah. And I think that's when you go into something like if you were to go into YouTube fresh and try to figure out how to, you can make a lot of content that can get a lot of views easily by talking shit on other people. Oh, is this person natty? Like all these different things and all these different hot topics, which like, you're making media that's getting views, but are you really building a brand or positioning yourself on the backside for companies to want to work with you, to be able to then sell a product based off of this, which is one of the beautiful things that kind of has organically happened with Flag. Is in the beginning, maybe it was very tied to you and Dana, very specific to you guys. But now it's like, I see people walking around, especially like the Valley this weekend. I saw a couple people wearing Flag Nor Fail hoodies. And it's like, they probably don't know who I am, who Rob or Dana is, but they like the brand. They know we're local, or they saw the overalls that their friend was wearing. And like, that's what's nice about what we're doing right now. And speaking to other people.
I was at the coffee shop the other day and the guy saw my logo and was like, oh, that's that Flag Nor Fail brand. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, doesn't know who I am. That's fine. I think that, man, it's an interesting puzzle, right? Like it's a really, really interesting puzzle. I think like even doing this podcast, I think one of the things about making media is it makes you a little bit more accountable to who you are
Yeah.
as a person. So even going back to, was it last week? I was like talking shit on Kendrick and his performance.
Yeah.
So that's something that the more that I speak, and I try to be aggressive for attention and things like that, but the more that I speak, I always go back and think like, is that guy the guy that I want to be, right? Are these qualities that I want to carry over? Like, do I really want to critique Kendrick, who obviously I have my opinions about it, but yes, had a huge impact, all these different things, cultural, blah, blah, blah. But like, do I even want to spend time as my brand being Rob Bailey? Does Rob Bailey want to spend time talking about other people? And if he is, does he want to talk about the Axe guy in a positive light?
Yeah.
Or does he want to talk negative? And some people, based on the algorithm, based on that, negativity rips, dude.
Unfortunately.
Like if you want to be, I can't think of his name, but he's a bodybuilder. There's a bunch of them right now. There's bodybuilders that all they do is talk shit on other bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Or they talk shit. I mean, everyone does it on Dana, right? They're just like, they make a video about Dana talking shit. They never reach out to Dana. They never even try. It's just, hey, we're going to talk really negative, and then other really negative people get around that, and then they try to sell them on like, oh, Dana's on steroids. So if you want to take steroids like Dana, sign up to my coaching program and I'll teach you how to take steroids.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think there's so many ways in the world to make money. Like there's so many ways. You can make money flipping crypto. You can restore old golf things. You can make axes. You can talk shit on people. Like there's so many options.
Yeah.
And I think that I personally would rather choose better options. So listening to my podcast last week of talking shit on Kendrick, it's like, I could have pointed out all the really cool things that he did and left out, you know, the fact that he was wearing girl jeans.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that he was wearing girl jeans is like my funny thing that keeps it interesting, but I'd rather throw in little things like that as I curate my personality and make sure that I'm growing to be the person I want to be. And that's the same thing with mini docs. It's like, yeah, let's instead of just putting together little things where we're like, oh, look at the flannel and stuff like that. Like we need that. But if we're really going to put effort into things, no, let's make little documentaries that inspire people, that give insights and tidbits on how did this guy curate his life to make such a rad life?
Yeah.
Like whether you're an overlander, whether you're an axe maker, whether you're a YouTube pilot, like whatever it is.
Musician.
Like, how did you do this, man? And I think making the media, showing up, and then paying attention to who I am and who I want to be, it like actively allows you to curate it. I think a lot of times when people just show up to the office, you're surrounded by other dudes that just talk shit and they're like, oh, look at that girl's butt. Next thing you know, you're just that person.
Yeah.
But it's not recorded. There's no accountability for it. You go home and like you never have to critique yourself. And I've always wanted to get better, whether it's better with apparel, whether it's better with me as a person, whether it's a better husband, brother, leader, whatever it is. It's like, I pay attention to myself, but the more I record myself, the more I document it, the more it's like I have something to look at and I don't have to trust my brain to remember.
Yeah.
Like, how was I in that moment?
I mean, it's like the truest form of reflection.
Yeah. It's watching game tape. It's watching game film, right? Like, it's recording your swing playing golf. It's after the game being like, damn, like I did hit that guy high.
Yeah.
You know, he came around, I hit him high, or I hit him right in the ball, and that's what made the ball pop loose. And it's like, cool, moving forward, I'm going to put my helmet right on that ball, and I'm going to cause a fumble every single time. And that's a lot of what this media is. It's like reviewing game tape.
It is accurate.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what makes people great. I think people showing up, people being self-aware, reviewing your performance, and then leaving. And dude, vlogging is making me review my performance every single day.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of people think other people edit my videos for me, and I have segments that other people put together, but like I'm here at 8:00 every night. I'm editing my video and I'm actually watching my day. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, I did that good. I did this good. I start to look at all those things and it's like, it's getting me hype because I'm like, oh, I did 10 really good projects yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people clock in, they wait for the time, they clock out, they go home, they do this, and then their day's over, and you're just wasting life. But it makes me review. And the more that I show up, the more that I review, the more I want to get more out of it all.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mores, but you know.
I think did we just turn everyone into vloggers? Everyone's going to like start recording their day now.
No, but I think you should document everything.
Yeah.
Right. And so in my CCV course, which I've said it 3 times now, it sounds like I'm trying to hard sell it, but there's something called a customer journey, right? And I'll break it down real quick. If you're ever trying to sell something, you develop a product, right? A product or a service, whatever that is. Maybe you renovate an Airbnb to put it up for sale. And then you need to get people's attention, which is normally the viral video. After attention, you need to make people dream. So you renovate it. Your attention video is like, hey, we just rebuilt this cabin and blah, blah, blah. And you somehow get their attention with that video clip or paid media or whatever it is. The next step is to make them dream. So you want to make the customer picture themselves using your product.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's overalls, yeah, I can get your attention with overalls with me doing something, but maybe that doesn't make you dream. Then I need to show you different versions of it where you can picture yourself gardening or carrying logs or doing whatever. And then after you dream, there is an objection part where the customer says like, well, does it fit me? Can I get to Montana? Is it too expensive? Is the Airbnb actually what they say it is, which is where reviews, support, sizing, all that stuff that lives on a PDP page. After that, ideally the customer purchases after you handle the objections, which is where the website needs to be dialed. You need really solid customer service, responding, saying, hey, these booking dates are open, whatever it is. Then after that, there's a period of doubt where the customer waits, where you book the Airbnb and you pay $1,000 for a weekend. And then it's like 2 months later and you're like, damn, should I still go to that? Or
wonder
should
if
I
I
just
can get my
cancel
money
it?
back.
I wonder if I can get
Yeah.
my money back. Should I have bought those overalls? Should I have hired a cleaning service for my house? I don't know. I could spend the money elsewhere. So there's that area of doubt. There's also an area of excitement there. So there's like this emotional area in the customer journey. After the emotional thing is the payoff for the customer, which is where the customer receives the product, whether that's receiving someone bug spray your house for the first time, or you actually get the roof put on your garage, or you actually, the overalls show up, whatever that is, it's the delivery of the product. And that's what we focus on. That's why our packaging's so good. That's why we update you so much with tracking, because we know that with Flagner Fail, when the box gets in your hands, that's the win for the customer. So there's tons of different ways to leverage that. And then after that, it's continuing the relationship and making sure they're part of it, right? So if you're a car dealer, it's like, hey, we have this car, we get your attention. Does this car work for me? You handle the objections with a test drive. After that, the sale happens. Then they normally have to get the car ready. Then you receive the car, and then there should be follow-ups afterwards. Yeah. So it works across every single industry. But I think the most important thing to do, and I think my half of an Adderall just kicked in, which is why I'm ripping. What I think one of the biggest things is it's documenting the process of building it. Right. It's, and you take, I think the easiest way to think about it is weight loss. If you see someone just show up and they're like, I'm diced, you're like, yeah, fuck you. You've always been diced.
Yeah.
But if they have that before photo, and that before photo, they're a sloppy fucking shit show. And they're like, I used to look like this and now I look like this. Or you have a cabin that you renovated for Airbnb and you're like, this is what it looked like when I bought it. This is all the different things I did to it to make it look like. They understand the value that you put into it and how much you have invested, and they end up trusting you more because they have visibility more of the process. And I think trust is one of the biggest things in marketing and developing products and storytelling that you can possibly do. And I think it's going to get even bigger now, because I've almost been tricked a few times by these AI pages where it's like, I'm a doctor and these are the 4 things that I take every single day. And they weave in really good things. Yeah. Or like, my uncle's a doctor and they do this. And then you just realize, oh, this is just AI selling Amazon products. And I think the more that's exposed and the more people catch on to that, the more it's going to focus on documenting that development process. Yeah. And whatever you're doing, document the development process. Like the fact that he had his first axe head, his first axe handle was like, whoa. And he can look back on it and tell the story and say how far he's come. It's like rad. Yeah. I don't remember why I was talking about documenting the process and how important that is, but
I said everyone was going to start vlogging. Then we talked about documenting.
And that's the thing is
and
like, I don't think you need to vlog, right?
Yeah.
So as far as documenting the process, I encourage a lot of people that I coach, document the process. You don't even need to show anyone.
Yeah.
Like if you're 400 pounds and you're starting your weight loss journey, yeah, take photos of yourself, but don't even put them on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? Like just hold them for yourself. If you're trying to develop a new axe and your first one sucks, don't put that out there. Just keep it for yourself. Start a folder. That also helps you see how far you've come.
Yeah.
So you don't need to become a vlogger, right? But maybe document your day. Maybe write down that to-do list, which we both do, where you cross stuff out. And at the end of the day, you can look back on it. And that's documenting your process. So you don't have to become a YouTuber or a vlogger or anything like that. But there are things that you can do where you document, and even if you don't show it to anybody, you end up appreciating how far you've come.
Yeah.
And if you don't go far, you also realize, like if you have a before and after from last year and you're like, damn, I look exactly the same as last year. I've just maybe lost some more hair.
Yeah, I got a different haircut.
And my beard's gray, or maybe I've put weight on, right? Like it's a check for you too. So yeah, I think documenting however it is absolutely fantastic for personal growth.
Damn. Well, that was deep.
Not really.
No. It felt deep.
All right.
Is that weird? What should I give people a discount on this week?
Oh, wow.
If they're still here, they're 46 minutes and 3 seconds in.
I can't believe you're just watching the time. I was just enjoying the conversation.
No, I was, but then I looked to see like if we had to keep going or not. Also, your schedule today is intense.
My schedule
keep you on schedule.
It's not a good schedule today. Right? It's a bad schedule.
It
Today's one of those days where I look at my calendar and I think to myself, I have control over my life.
Yeah.
And if I was to structure my life, I would not structure my life like today. It's design blocks. Everything's like an hour. And it's like, it's a accounting meeting, a design block where I truly need to be creative. And then it's an hour of a one-on-one call, and then an hour of a bag meeting, and then an hour of this, and then an hour of like logistical. It's not conducive at all to
productivity.
Yeah. And I think that's something I really need to get a handle on is my calendar and being very
deliberate.
I had the same conversation with Dana last night. Dana was like, my day's a shit show. And I was like, would you mind if I organized your day for you? Right? Because she has projects throughout the day, but they're always spaced out. And looking at her calendar, I was like, you only have 4 things. They're just all spread out every 3 hours.
So you're spending time
So you're
waiting
spending
around.
time driving and doing all this. But I was like, if you do this, 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 and this, like you're done by 1 p.m. And she was like, whoa. I was like, maybe you should let me structure your day more often. Just because like, once again, we're not, like there's people that are on the ride of life, right? Like they get on a roller coaster and they're like, wherever this thing goes, I'm just going to throw my hands up or feel sick. And then there's the other people that are like, no, I'm going to drive a car and I'm going to pick the road I go on.
Yeah.
And I think we have the opportunity of making our own ride or being on someone else's ride. And even if you're working for somebody else, you can still make your own ride.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the right job, you can still curate what you do and how it works and how much you enjoy it. I feel like I'm on someone else's ride today.
Yeah. Welcome to my ride. It's not mine. I don't think so. No, I only put like 1 or 2 things on your calendar. This was one of them. So your ride with me is almost over.
You're my conductor.
No, we have video to shoot after this. We're doing a big sale on flannels this week. So if you're listening to this,
tell them that. That's a good thing.
Not sure.
So what we did is, because a lot of people have these questions and they can see these, or they're listening, they can't see them. So we have old flannels up here, and then we have a bunch of new flannel colors. So pretty much these 5 are flannels that I want to order.
The 5 on that side.
Yeah. But every single time you order 5 flannels. That's 6 more SKUs. And then that every single size of that needs a place in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And one of the problems is with the old flannels is we bought them, they sold really well, and we did a big restock on them. So we still have stock of all the old colors. So to make it make sense for us to order new colors of flannels, we have to start ripping through some of the old stock.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a sale on the old stuff. We're going to make it worth your while so that we can get, I think we have 6 colors on the site right now.
When I actually look, there's a lot of variety because there's printed versions, there's hooded versions, there's midweight, there's lightweight, there's different colors.
So there's and once again, there's probably 80 SKUs right now. So if we can move through that 80 SKUs, we're going to take that money that we make from there. I'm actually going to develop these a little bit better. We're going to modify.
I was just going to tell people that the old ones are great. And that,
No, they are great.
Yeah,
I just think that there's some updated branding. There's a couple little things I want to change on them. I think the body of them is perfect. I'm not going to touch the body, but I want to do a couple little tweaks with branding and patches and things like that and updated verbiage on the new ones. And then we'll place the new ones. They'll be here for fall. Yeah. But we need to get through these first. So that's your big sale you want to tell people about.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very aggressive on the women's side and the male side. And the big thing too, like not only just clearing this inventory out so that we can order new ones, like the flannels are dialed. They're good.
They're so good. They're the best flannels.
Anyone who I've gifted one to or has one, they're like, you guys should make more colors of these.
And that's the problem is people get the color they like and then they want more, but we don't have more. So that's why I think the flannel program, like if we order all these new colors, and I'm not even set on like that blue I don't really like. Yeah. All the other ones I like. That yellow one's risky, but once I put it on, I'm like, oh no, this is sick.
Even seeing it like next to the Timber Oscar pants, it's like,
yeah, it's a good flannel.
You about to throw this on? Yeah. About to start. Is he in frame? You get these flannels, not this color, but these other colors this weekend.
So no, like it's definitely like a specific vibe.
I wonder if I could be a flannel guy.
I think so. I've seen you wear it. You need to wash yours a few times
to break them in. Because when I wear them, you're like, all right, we see that you just got it.
You're not a flannel guy, so it's a brand new flannel. So like the collar's always like super stiff on you. Yeah. You need to wash it a few times because they get better as you wash them.
And I need to just do flannel stuff.
Well, you're an axe guy now.
I'm an axe guy. I restore old golf clubs. If anybody wants to buy one off of me,
you should do my set.
Restore your set. Your set's too new.
No.
I fuck it all up. You're saying
I'll give my set to somebody else. I don't care.
I see what you're saying.
I want you to find me the oldest golf clubs possible.
I'm not like that advanced yet. I appreciate the trust you have.
Oh wait, you've never done it
ever. I was gonna start with just getting a re-gripping station and like redoing my own grips for me and my buddies.
So do you want to practice on my set?
I'm gonna practice for a while.
I'll pay you. I'll give you a little bit of a budget. I'll give you a budget. I want a pair from 1956, the same as my boat. Bro, that's how I win the boat show.
That would be cool.
If you wrap my handles the burgundy of the interior of my boat, and I have a golf set the same exact year as my boat, and it's just like I have them sitting in the passenger seat. I wonder what a golf club from
1956 looks like. Is that the year you said, 56?
It's a 56, yeah.
I'll have to start my journey.
Yeah, so I need to.
Your mom was born in 56, right? I just learned that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, my mom was born in 56. So 56 is a big year for me.
Yeah.
But if we can find me clubs from 1956, they don't need to be good.
No, they definitely won't be good.
And then we're going to wrap them in burgundy to match the interior of the boat.
That'd be sick.
That'd be so sick.
And then we do the mini doc on me restoring.
Well, you have to get good first. You have to get good first. Now, document your process when you start so you can see how far you've come.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Wow. I'm really excited about this project.
When is the boat show?
It's coming up.
Boat show's coming up.
It's in like 3 months.
We got drift events coming up. We're working on getting those dates live for you guys. So
I don't even know if to call them drift events. Like I've been working on the name of it, and it's like car show track day because it's not a drift event.
No,
it's a car show track day open house.
A couple of questions we had on the last podcast because we started talking about this, where people was asking if there'd be bikes could enter, if there'd be an autocross.
Okay, so
for people to enter.
I know
we didn't clarify.
This is how it's working, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people here.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the car show. The car show, when you get here, we're going to make people pay to be in the car show.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of delusional people out there that their cars don't belong in the car show. And I think we're going to get so many people. So we're going to make that. Essentially, you're going to come in. We're going to say, hey, if you want to be in the car show, I don't know how much it's going to be, but you'll be in the front parking lot.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take all that money and donate it, right? So we're not making money there. We'll have food trucks. We're going to have an open gym where if you want to come and just train, you can train and then go watch the cars. Now, as far as the car events, I'm working on getting go-karts.
Okay.
I'm also going to get professional drivers here. So the drift will be
curate it.
curate it.
Races.
It'll either be people I know or professionals. So it'll be very enjoyable to watch and much more safe.
Yeah.
The autocross. Now we're not going to be able to run really big heats, just because it's not going to work. And for our first event, that's the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 heats, but we're going to hand pick the heats.
Okay.
So there's no way to sign up to it or bring your bike or whatever. The first one it's too messy to just have it wide open. Now it's going to be wide open to the public, but no, you can't bring your street bike and run it on the racetrack. You can't bring your car that's going to explode or because the racetrack, it's a very interesting environment and you get very worked up very quick.
Yeah.
And people, I've witnessed it with every single one of my friends that have driven. It gets out of control real fast and they fly off the track because you're just so excited.
Yeah.
Like I do it too. I get so excited. And I think that's why we need to limit it. I want to make sure nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So we'll have security. We'll have all of that here. I'm going to drive in posts and actually like rope it off.
Yeah.
So you can't get close enough to the racetrack. But no, I think that we'll announce something for the autocross and to get people in. Now, it's going to be almost like hey, send us your resume, your driving resume, and your car, and then we'll let you in.
I can approve some sort of approval.
It's not just show up with your car and drive on our racetrack.
Yeah.
That's not this event.
Yeah, we're not 18 anymore. This isn't Speed Warhouse anymore.
No.
Come on.
And that was a big, looking back at the Speed Warhouse where like it was just a free for all. I'm very, very happy that we made it out of that part of our life without anyone getting
really hurt.
Really, really hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So growing up, still going to be chaos. It's going to be fun to watch. Like I'm not going to drive that day. I'm just going to watch other people drive. Yeah. Like I'm showing up because I really, really want to watch other people drive. I'm going to try to get some really good drivers here.
All right. I'm not on that list, I don't think.
No, I don't know what you'll be doing there.
I don't know either.
Maybe you'll like man the food
Figure
trucks
it out.
or something.
I could be food department could be good. I could be like
store
at the open gym, just shirtless.
Gym store. Yeah,
stuff.
Shirtless at the open gym.
Maybe that's my station.
And Gage is going to film it.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have your microphone because you can be like, yup.
His station.
Cool.
Fuck,
right.
We got a lot to do. We already missed our color change video.
Is that right now?
Yeah, 7 minutes ago.
We got to keep Dana on schedule. So let's get out of here.
All right.
And go shoot that video.
We're going to go shoot Flannels this weekend only. If you are listening to the podcast after the fact, then you have to subscribe and get wrecked. Because if you listen to it when we drop this, you would know, right? Be notified.
Oh, yeah. If you get notified of the podcast, you'll learn about the secret deals. I call it on YouTube, I call them my secret friends. Yeah.
This isn't really secret.
No.
Because I'm going to email everybody about this.
Okay.
Big flannel sale this weekend. Good night, Dana.
Help us get rid of this inventory so we can buy new colors.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Oh, good night, Dana.
Yeah, good night, Dana.